Well, good evening. It is Saturday, November the 9th, 2019, Journal 221, T+221. Um, had a really nice day today. Hope you did. Hope you had the same. A day filled with the company of good friends and lots of things to do that left you with a sense the day was productive. And I think that's important. All of that got me to thinking just about an interesting question, really. And that is, what would you see if you could look at your life, look at your world through someone else's eyes? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Um, what would your world look like to you if you could see it the way someone else sees it? Um, would it be purely chaotic? Would it be organized? Would it be meaningful, purposeful? Um, I think we'd all like to think we live purposeful lives that make sense. When I was at the shop all the time, I used to practice a discipline that I picked up out of a book, and the discipline was management by wandering around. It sounds strange, I know, but realistically, it was meant for managers and leaders within large organizations. And the basic theory, the basic premise was that you go wandering around and you keep your eyes open, and you look at everything with a keen observer's eye. And you'd be surprised how productive that can be. I mean, I practiced that at our own shop. I always watch things very closely to this day when I visit someone else's shop. You can tell an awful lot about the leadership in an organization like that, even in a small business, just by wandering around and keeping your eyes open. I always wanted to see what I could learn, how I could go ahead and come back and impact my own business. Um, and I also got really excited. I mean, literally, I got really excited when we would have other shop owners visit our shop. And we were part of what's called a 20 group, which is a group of about approximately 20 other business owners with similar businesses. It was an idea that was pioneered by General Motors back in the 30s for their dealership organizations, and it was hoped that by sharing observations about each other's businesses, that you would go ahead and build on the strengths of all of those involved, so that the stronger operational shops would help the weaker operational shops, and the better sales shops would help the weaker sales shops. You get the general idea. But the main advantage of having other business owners come into your shop and then having a post-mortem, having a sit down, a briefing on what they saw, was your ability to see the world, see your world through their eyes, particularly with regard to your business. And I think that there's enough that can be said about that. If you're a manager, if you're a leader, if you're just an individual, it still helps to get that kind of insight, as long as the people that you're dealing with are being honest with you and forthright, and they're not pulling any punches to try and save you from emotional grief. And trying really hard not to hurt you, because I don't think there's anything that can hurt worse than having your business fail, and businesses fail when you don't have a really good idea of what's going on. But wouldn't it be great if we could do that with our own lives? Wouldn't it be great if we weren't so sensitive that we avoid hearing what our friends and family members have to say about their perception, about what they see when they look in our lives. I know that can be dangerous. I know how dangerous that can be, because it depends a lot on the intent of the individual that's giving you the feedback. But if it's honest and if it's open, and if it's not meant to be hurtful, or it's not meant to create pain, there are great strides that you can make in the quality of your own life. You may not want to hear everything that they have to say. I know I don't often, but there are important lessons. There are things that you do without thinking much about them, patterns that you have created for yourself, habits that have been formed as a result of the patterns, grooves that you've fallen into that have been grooves for so long they've become ruts. And sometimes all it takes is somebody else to say, hey, did you notice that you were doing that? Because I can't imagine that if you were aware of it, you'd still be doing it that way. Or somebody turning around and saying, there's another way to do that. There may be a way that's less painful, that's not as exhausting. It would be interesting, I think. I think it's critical for businesses, and I believe it's probably equally as important for people, individuals, and relationships. I know when I walk into a shop, I start to look at things observationally. I start to look at things with a critical eye. I try to slide into the background. I try not to be obvious. I rarely say anything unless asked, but that doesn't mean that I'm not watching and I'm not filing away all the things that I see. Do people practice improvisation in everything they do? Sort of just figuring it out as they go along? Doing things by guess and by golly? Or is there a high level of organization? Are there processes? Are there systems? Are people paying attention to the systems and processes that might exist? Are they using all the tools at their disposal? Are they aware? Are they awake? Are they inconsistent in their practices, in the actions they take? Or are their actions defined within the context of a system? Are they efficient? If you have a system and you have a process and the process works, it's hard to be inefficient. I've met people that can do it. I know there are plenty of people that can do it. And I've managed to screw up my own share of systems and processes in a lifetime of being in business. But it's important. Would someone else see the difference in your life or in your business between urgency and purposefulness? Doing everything you do with a purpose towards a goal or a strategic objective. Are you operating your business and your life tactically to achieve your goals and objectives? I don't know, but I think it's fascinating. I think that maybe that whole idea of a 20 group for businesses has been lost, and the advantages that it can go ahead and develop have been lost because we fail to do that as people. And maybe that's because we're more likely to take that kind of gentle correction or criticism in business than we would in our own personal lives. I don't know. But I think we could probably learn and grow at a much faster rate and become lots more productive if we did look at our lives through the lives of other people and asked ourselves, what would you see? In the meantime, stay well and take care. It's Saturday night. Go out, have a great time, see a movie, have dinner, hang out, have a good time. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.